Hello, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're going to explore one of the most intriguing and valuable coins from the United States, a coin that most people wouldn't think twice about but could be worth a fortune if you know what to look for. Yes, we're talking about the 1974 United States 1-cent coin. It might seem like a small, everyday piece of currency, but don't be fooled, this coin has a rich history and could be worth far more than you expect. Stick with us, and by the end of this video, you'll be shocked at how much a 1974 1-cent coin could actually be worth. Let's start with the basics. The 1974 1-cent coin, or penny, is part of the Lincoln series, which has been in circulation since 1909. It features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor D. Brenner. On the reverse side, you'll find the famous image of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the nation's strength and unity. These details alone make the 1974 penny a valuable historical item, but it's not the design that makes it worth so much. It's what makes this particular year special that sets it apart from the rest. During the 1970s, the U.S. Mint was producing an immense number of pennies to keep up with the growing population and demand for small currency. Most of the coins were struck with little thought to future collectors. But this year, a few interesting things happened that make certain 1974 pennies rare, collectible, and highly valuable. And now, let's talk about the production of the 1974 pennies. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1974 1-cent coin is that it was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, just like many other years of the penny. But here's where things get interesting. A rare variety of this coin was struck with an error that has sent collectors into a frenzy. A few 1974 pennies were accidentally produced with a double die error, which means that the design was struck on the coin twice, creating a double image of Lincoln's profile or other features. This error, though it was rare, gives the coin an incredibly high value, especially when it's in excellent condition, but that's not the only factor that has increased the value of these coins. While most 1974 pennies were made from a copper-plated zinc composition, there are also reports of a few pennies being struck in solid copper. These copper varieties, much rarer than their zinc-plated counterparts, have become highly sought after by collectors who are eager to own a piece of U.S. minting history. Because the U.S. Mint stopped using solid copper for pennies in 1982, any copper 1974 pennies that made it into circulation are incredibly valuable, and finding one could mean a windfall for any lucky collector. The truth is, not all 1974 1-cent coins are valuable. Most of them are just typical pennies that you'll come across in your change, but if you're lucky enough to find one with a double die error or made from solid copper, you've stumbled upon a rare treasure. And in the world of rare coins, finding something like this can be a collector's dream. So, what's the value of the 1974 1-cent coin today? If you happen to have one of the rare double die error pennies, especially in uncirculated or mint condition, it could be worth thousands of dollars. But here's the kicker: the copper variety of the 1974 penny, which is much harder to come by, can command an incredible price. The most valuable 1974 pennies, especially those with the double die error or copper composition, can fetch as much as $25,000, that's right, $25,000 for a single penny. It might sound unbelievable, but it's true. If you have a 1974 1-cent coin with one of these rare features, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. And now, if you're wondering how to tell if your 1974 penny is worth this much, don't worry, there are a few key things to look for. First, inspect the coin closely under good lighting. If you notice that the features of Lincoln's portrait or the text on the coin seem to be duplicated or blurred, you could be looking at a double die error. Second, if your penny feels unusually heavy and shows signs of being made from copper, it could be one of the rare copper variants. If you're not sure, it's always worth getting it authenticated by a professional coin grader or visiting a reputable coin shop to have it appraised. So, the next time you sift through your spare change or come across an old penny from 1974, take a closer look. It could be a valuable collector's item, waiting to be discovered. Who knows? You might just find a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars. Top 2 today, we're about to uncover the value of a coin that you might have lying around in your change jar or drawer. It's a small, seemingly ordinary coin, but don't be fooled, this one could be worth a lot more than you think. We're talking about the 1987 United States 1-cent coin, or penny. While most people wouldn't bat an eye at this coin, there's something special about the 1987 penny that makes it highly sought after by collectors. Stick around, and by the end of this video, you'll be shocked to find out just how much one of these pennies could be worth. First, let's set the stage. The 1987 penny, like most pennies, features the classic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor D. Brenner. This design has been in circulation since 1909, and it's an iconic symbol of the United States. On the reverse side, you'll find the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American history and pride. The 1987 penny was part of the ongoing series of pennies issued by the U.S. Mint, and at first glance, it may seem like any other ordinary penny from the era, but here's the catch: the 1987 penny became notable for a couple of reasons, both of which make it a valuable find for collectors. To truly understand the value, we need to take a look at what makes this particular penny special. First, let's talk about the minting process. In 1987, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies, just as they had done in years prior. The vast majority of these coins were struck using the standard copper-plated zinc composition that had become the norm for pennies since 1982. However, some of these pennies experienced variations in their strikes. Some of them have been found with slight minting errors, such as off-center strikes or doubled dies, which can significantly increase their value. When it comes to minting errors, collectors get excited. Even minor mistakes made during the minting process can turn an ordinary coin into a rare, highly sought-after item. And in the case of the 1987 1-cent coin, the possibilities are endless. Some of the most prized 1987 pennies have double die errors, where the design on the coin is doubled, resulting in a coin with an unmistakable flaw. These errors can range from minor to quite dramatic, but when the error is more pronounced and well-defined, the value of the coin skyrockets. There's another reason the 1987 penny is valuable: condition. As you probably know, the condition of a coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. The 1987 penny is often found in circulation and may have noticeable wear and tear. However, if you happen to have a 1987 penny in excellent condition, especially one that has been carefully stored and preserved, it could be worth significantly more than its face value. Pennies that have been kept in uncirculated condition, meaning they haven't been used in transactions or subjected to the rigors of daily life, are always in high demand among collectors. But here's the big kicker: the most valuable 1987 pennies are those that have been minted with special features, whether it be an error or simply a rare combination of factors. Coins that are well preserved, have unique minting flaws, or were struck with a particularly high level of precision have the potential to fetch impressive amounts on the market. Now, you might be wondering, how much could a 1987 1-cent coin actually be worth? While most 1987 pennies are still only worth their face value, just 1 cent, there are rare examples of this coin being sold for much, much more. A 1987 penny with a noticeable minting error, such as a double die or off-center strike, can be worth thousands of dollars in excellent condition. But here's the real surprise: if you happen to come across an extremely well-preserved 1987 penny with the right minting errors, it could be worth an astounding $20,000. That's right, $20,000 for a single 1987 penny. It may seem hard to believe, but in the world of coin collecting, rare and unique coins like these can fetch prices that leave even seasoned collectors stunned. So, how can you identify a valuable 1987 penny? The first thing you want to do is carefully inspect the coin. Look for any signs of a double die error, where Lincoln's image or the surrounding text appears to be duplicated. You also want to check for any off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned with the coin. If you find any of these errors, or if the coin is in near mint condition, you may have a valuable piece on your hands. If you believe you have a valuable 1987 penny, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. They can determine the coin's authenticity and condition, which will ultimately affect its value. You can also take it to a local coin dealer or auction house to see if it might be worth even more than you imagined. Next time you're going through your spare change, keep an eye out for the 1987 penny. It could be your ticket to a small fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone interested in learning more about rare coins, the 1987 1-cent coin is a prime example of how something as simple as a penny can have significant value. Top 3 today, we're going to dive into a fascinating coin that might just be sitting in your spare change jar or hidden in a collection somewhere. It's a coin that many overlook, but once you understand its history and rarity, you'll be amazed at how much it's worth. We're talking about the 1972 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the 1972 penny. While it may look like any other penny, this small piece of currency has the potential to be worth far more than you might expect. Stick around to the end, because we'll reveal just how much a 1972 penny could actually be worth today. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1972 1-cent coin features the well-known image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. This design, created by Victor D. Brenner, has been in use since 1909 and is instantly recognizable to anyone familiar with U.S. currency. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which has been featured on pennies since 1959. So far, it sounds pretty standard, right? Just another year of production for the Lincoln penny series. However, what makes the 1972 penny unique is that it was minted during a time of significant changes in coin production, and there are certain features and minting errors that can make these coins incredibly valuable. The 1972 penny was produced in large quantities, with both the Philadelphia and Denver mints getting in on the action. But what collectors look for are the subtle variations in the coin's design and the errors that occurred during the minting process. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1972 penny is the famous double die error. This error, which occurs during the minting process, results in a coin with a design that is doubled or even tripled, often making the features appear blurry or out of alignment. In the case of the 1972 penny, the most noticeable double die errors are found on the obverse side, where Lincoln's portrait or the text "In God We Trust" may appear as if it's been struck multiple times, creating a ghostly image. These doubled dies are rare, and collectors go crazy over them. If you happen to find one of these rare double die pennies in good condition, you're in for a big surprise. The 1972 penny is also notable for its composition. By 1972, the U.S. Mint was still using the copper-plated zinc composition for pennies, which had replaced the solid copper used in earlier years. While the copper-plated zinc composition is standard for pennies of that era, some coins, like the 1972 penny, are much rarer due to certain minting irregularities or errors in the way the coins were struck. As with all coins, the condition is another critical factor in determining its value. The 1972 penny is often found in circulation, which means that it typically shows signs of wear and tear from being used in everyday transactions. However, if you come across a 1972 penny in exceptional, uncirculated condition, it could be worth far more than just 1-cent coins that have been carefully preserved and kept in mint condition. Fetch higher prices from collectors, as they are far harder to come by. A well-preserved 1972 penny, especially with an error, can really make collectors' eyes light up. And now, let's get to the exciting part, the value of the 1972 penny. You may be wondering, how much could a 1972 penny be worth? Well, if you happen to have one of those rare 1972 pennies with a double die error or one that is in pristine condition, you could be looking at a very valuable coin. The value of a 1972 penny can range from just a few dollars for a penny in average condition to several $100s for one in mint condition with a noticeable minting error. But here's where it gets truly remarkable. The most valuable 1972 pennies, those with the double die error or other rare features, can sell for an astonishing $26,000. That's right, $26,000 for a single penny. It might sound unbelievable, but it's true. In the world of coin collecting, rarities like the 1972 double die error penny can bring in jaw-dropping amounts of money, especially when the coin is in excellent condition. Even a penny in average condition but with a significant minting error can command thousands of dollars in the right market. So, how do you spot a 1972 penny that could be worth a small fortune? Start by looking closely at the coin. The most notable feature to look for is the double die error. If you see that Lincoln's face or the surrounding text is doubled or blurry, you've likely found one of these valuable coins. Another clue is the overall condition. If the penny looks almost new, with no wear or discoloration, it could be a rare find. And of course, if you think you've found something truly special, it's always a good idea to have the coin professionally graded by a reputable grading service. A professional can confirm if your coin is indeed a rare, error coin, and they can also give you an accurate estimate of its value. The next time you're going through your spare change, don't overlook those 1972 pennies. With a keen eye and a little luck, you could be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, sometimes the most unassuming coins are the ones that hold the biggest surprises. Top 4 today. We're uncovering a gem that you might have lying around in your spare change, something that could be worth far more than you ever thought possible. That's right, we're talking about the 1974 United States 1-cent coin, or as most people call it, the 1974 penny. At first glance, it may seem like just another ordinary penny, but there's so much more to this little coin than meets the eye. Stick with us to the end, and you'll be stunned to learn just how much this penny could be worth today. Let's start with a little history lesson. The 1974 penny features the classic design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. This image, created by artist Victor D. Brenner, has been a fixture on U.S. pennies since 1909. It's instantly recognizable to anyone who's ever used American currency. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, which has graced the backs of pennies since 1959. The design itself is timeless and iconic, but the story behind the 1974 penny goes far beyond just the artwork. During the 1970s, the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies every year to keep up with the demands of an ever-growing population and economy. But not all pennies were created equal. While most of the 1974 pennies were produced in large quantities and circulated widely, some have turned out to be rarer than others, particularly due to errors made during the minting process. And this is where things start to get exciting. The 1974 penny is famous for one key reason: a series of minting errors that have left collectors eager to get their hands on these coins. One of the most notable errors is the double die variety. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, resulting in a doubling of the design. On the 1974 penny, this could mean Lincoln's face, the text "In God We Trust," or even the date itself appears doubled, creating a blurry or ghostly effect. These doubled die pennies are highly sought after, and their rarity makes them especially valuable to collectors, but that's not the only reason the 1974 penny is valuable. Another factor that can make this coin stand out is its condition. As you probably know, the condition of a coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Most 1974 pennies were used in everyday transactions, so they show signs of wear and tear. But if you happen to find one in uncirculated or near mint condition, it could be worth a lot more than just a penny. Coins that have been carefully preserved and stored in excellent condition are always in high demand among collectors. So, if you have a 1974 penny that looks almost new, especially one that hasn't been heavily circulated, you could be sitting on a rare find. The higher the grade or condition of the coin, the more money it can fetch at auctions or from private collectors. Another thing to consider is that some 1974 pennies were struck with a small but significant minting error. These pennies might not have the prominent double die, but they could have subtle variations that make them unique and more desirable to collectors. Things like slightly off-center strikes, imperfections in the design, or irregularities in the metal could all add to a coin's value. So, what's the big reveal? Just how much can a 1974 penny actually be worth? You may be surprised to learn that certain 1974 pennies have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. A 1974 penny with a clear and noticeable double die error, especially in excellent condition, can easily fetch thousands of dollars. But hold on, it gets even better. If you have a truly rare and exceptional 1974 penny, you could be looking at a staggering value of $24,000. Yes, you heard that right, $24,000 for a single 1974 penny. While this amount may sound unbelievable, it's true. In the world of rare coin collecting, even a small mistake during the minting process can make a huge difference in the value of a coin. A 1974 penny with a visible error or one in near-perfect condition can fetch a life-changing amount of money. If you're wondering how to identify a 1974 penny that might be worth this much, here's a quick guide. The first thing you'll want to do is closely inspect the coin for any signs of a double die error. If you notice that Lincoln's portrait or the date looks blurry or duplicated, you might have a winner on your hands. Another thing to look for is the condition of the penny. If the coin has little to no wear and looks almost like it was freshly minted, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. If you suspect that you found a rare 1974 penny, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded. A reputable coin grading service can help confirm the coin's authenticity, its condition, and its potential value. Once you have a professional's opinion, you'll know just how much your coin is worth on the market. Next time you're going through your loose change or going through old pennies, don't dismiss that 1974 penny. You could be holding onto a valuable collector's item that's worth far more than its face value. With the right minting errors and in the right condition, this humble penny could fetch a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future discoveries. Who knows what treasures you might find in your own collection? Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting!